All right, I have both in here, so I'm going to start recording. Um, some early morning, or depending on where you are, maybe some late at night exceed. Going to go ahead and be the second or third round? Third round, fourth round? Of Strive Celebration. This is a tournament with seasons 3, 5, and 7. Looks like they have their characters picked. Go ahead. We have Dored versus Reggie's War on Everything. We mostly just call it Reggie. Similar to how we call Petersonian Peter. Make your name close enough. You get there. I actually didn't look at these guys as teams beforehand. I got some setup time. Let's go ahead and take a look. I guess also I should move to my recording booth section.
Louis.
There we go. Alrighty. So, Dored's running Ryu, Carl, Clover, and Axel. Reggie's running Sagat, Platinum, and Happy Chaos. Now, I've not caught many of Dored's games. I did, well, I was in one of Reggie's games by necessity. I caught that one. But I did see, also saw his game versus Zane. He's been very commanding with his Sagat, so I would expect a turn one Sagat. He also tends to have a pretty comfortable time with Happy Chaos and Platinum. Those are comfortable mains for him at this point. So I'd say pretty reasonable to expect to see either of them. Dored again, I don't have much experience with seeing, so. Ryu, Clover, Axel is such an interesting one. Ryu and Axel, pretty good zoning games. Looks like we are going to get Ryu into Platinum. Not what I was expecting. Reggie might be doing the Platinum here to bait out the Ryu. Ryu has a very good matchup into Happy Chaos. Able to invalidate many of Happy Chaos's more powerful tools while also threatening some of his own pretty dominating options, and being able to do so for most of the game at most of the ranges that they would both fight at. Means that they are they're not a fan of each other. Namely, Ryu just punches the gun nerd a lot. Reggie is pretty familiar with that matchup, but I wouldn't say that it's one that he would be actively seeking out, because even being familiar with it is a very difficult matchup, and Ryu can sneak out wins either way. So he may have picked him because of that. I suspect Happy Cast may also have a reasonably bad matchup into Axel, although I do think that Sagat enjoys both of these matchups pretty well. I don't think they're like free by any means, but they definitely are fairly interesting to him. Let me see. Heaven flipped. Find out. Probably that means Dored's first. Yeah. A little bit more familiar with Reggie. Figured he would have called Hell since Dored flipped. Mulling away the EX Grasp. I don't think we were supposed to see that. Which means to me that he didn't have a opener he felt comfortable with. He's getting rid of those because boosting Fierce while sitting on a comfy opener. That's what we call peak. Moving in, so either did not draw the hit Hado or is afraid of Platinum's 5-speed Fireball. Platinum striking. Ryu deciding to defend on curve, which is correct. And will stuff Platinum's dive. Prep from Ryu, Platinum going ahead and boosting Defend from hand. Notably missed the trigger on Cleanup. Ryu striking into the Defend, which to me projects either a slow or a 1-inch punch. That's kind of fun. So Platinum will hit Ryu for 4. Ryu will hit back for 5. Ignoring armor, so actually 5. Pushing Platinum to range 3. But she just drops 3 mix-ups. We're going to see a wild boost in play and a whiff. Painful whiff, too. Getting rid of focus. A good defensive shape and reasonable boost. Ryu striking. Hitting with the range 3 sweep. Invalid there. Stuffing the Dream Sally. Really painful strike for Platinum. That might be game losing. Getting rid of the cross. This means Ryu's free to Ryu action if he has it. We're gonna see a wild boost come down. I mean, there's the other Dream Sally. I don't think Dream Sally is really great in this matchup, so we love to see that down. See and initiate from Platinum. Platinum has after draw 1, so she can afford to be a little bit aggressive. She does have to be pretty careful here because there is an 11 life lead, and Ryu has 3 gauge. Ryu getting the cross, which is going to be plenty fine. Platinum can choose to advance, which I suspect she will. You do not really want to be at range 6. You definitely don't want to be at range 5 either. Drawing 1 for the after effect of Magical Boomerang. And putting Dramatic Sammy on top of the deck, which tells me that he's got a way to move in. Ryu's slamming a card down, no crit. This is definitely the Mets. Did he have the nope? But he has the block, so that's fine. Yeah, it was a pretty face-up Mets, and like most face-up Mets, Hadokens got stuffed. Usually you get stuffed by having your opponent cross out, which is why you want to critical your Mets Hadokens. Even though it doesn't have a critical effect, it does mean your opponent does not play cross. That said, block would have worked against a crit Hadoken even better than it worked against a Mets, so... Notably, no boost on Platinum, even though Ryu moved into range 2. It was a shame. Could have forced him to spend another... Oh, drawing that Dramatic Sammy, which is nice. Having a known ignore armor button enables you to play on curve a little bit better, and then deciding to prep this turn. Again, skipping on the cleanup boost, which is pretty interesting. Ryu striking can afford to be a little carefree here. Spike into the cross, that's pretty reasonable for Platinum. 3 damage, avoids a game-losing spike. And, well, that's really good going into your turn. +1 speed, +1 to 2 range means you can kind of throw whatever you want. Throwing Magical Missile, +3 speed, +1 billion range. That's pretty strong. Ryu teching the +2 speed. Yep. Doesn't want to get spiked. Doesn't have the Hado in hand. Might now. Happy Magica. The other one. Ryu says, that's fine. I'll turn off your range. Which to me says we're seeing Spike come down. We are either seeing Spike or Dive. Dive would be really spicy here. Going over the opponent, retreating 2, and then hitting. Just a really cool combo. They would mean the other Dive is down. Critical to go in 1 range. which is not going to save him from Spike. I don't really know. Oh, wait, it is. It is. Because range 3. Yeah. Wouldn't have saved him from dive, though. Let it be known. If Reggie had one, that's also dangerous because, both dives down. Speaking of which, both spikes are down. Ryu is safe to throw stuff like Donkey Kick. Throwing the assault into the block, which is really good value on his part. Does an oppressive and smothering game. +2 power is a pretty reasonable way to overcome the 9 life barricade that stands in between platinum and victory right now. Ryu thinking about his options decides, cards are good. If I have cards, I can answer +2 power probably. Platinum throwing an attack. Ryu throwing cross, which makes sense. And okay, Platinum did not respect the cross. Which means that we are about to see almost definitely one of those gauges get discarded. Oh, no discard on the gauge, but this is still one of two things. This is now technically a mix-up, but it's not really. I don't think that you stuff much more with Hadouken than you do with Dive. Well, I mean, hey, Platinum's at 4 life. Ryu can now sit big chillin', 4 gauge, opponent's at 4 life, no blocks left. That means if Platinum ever initiates, Ryu just immediately slams the uppercut into her little jaw. Speaking of, that's not going to do it. A little greedy. +2 speed? Yeah, I take that. I boost that every day when I have 4 life. My opponent's at 21. I boost +2 speed every day, especially for free. Platinum will need cards. Ryu deciding also to have cards. +2 speed also, notably, means that you can't just happy slam mats. You gotta actually think about your attack as Ryu, which you hate doing when you have 4 gauge. You have the money to pay to remove the mix-up. Why are they forcing the mix-up? Platinum throwing down an attack here. Dored consulting his handy-dandy guide, throwing good old Tatsumaki Senpaiku. Okay. You need the power boost. But he has at least one, which means that the Tatsumaki is about to get stunned. Yep, there it is. And honestly, I would just play the other one for me. Yeah, sure. So I don't really know why you're doing that one. Presumably you want to sustain it? You don't get to move, Ryu. You've been stunned. You've been hit by. You've been stunned by a Kira Typhoon. +3 speed, +1 to 2 range. That is one Ryu action away from being kind of bad. We will see. Are you gonna go ahead and also clean up, get a 4th boost into play, Reggie? I know you want to. Come on, I know you want to. You got Way of the Warrior, and then also additional stats. Move 1, regain your action. Yep, and then either strike or Ryu action. Ryu action. All right, Reggie, throw the spiciest dive now ever. Nope, simply gonna backstep. Says, all right, fine. You want a Ryu action? Sounds good to me, bud. I'll be back here. I can throw whatever I want. I've got +2 range, +3 speed, +2 power. I have stats for days. You want to step in? Step in. And now more things are alive. And it's my turn. I can now Platinum can either choose to throw an attack, or again, you're winning the boost war so tremendously that even a Way of the Warrior is not going to be sufficient. You might just want to big chill, throw that prep down, shuffling the deck, shuffling those 3 cards down. Can also grab your very funny Ultra Astral. You can't play it, sadly, but it would be very funny. We are going to throw the strike. We're going to take advantage of all these boosts while we have them. Ryu has nothing. Ryu going to Wild Swing to try and conserve resources. Gonna get hit for 6, ignoring armor, gaining advantage, sustaining probably the light, but we'll see. And suddenly this game looks much more real. All right, don't know what was sustained. It was not the light. Wait, it wasn't light. Okay, I was to say. There's no way with before pull 2 you do anything else. Before pull 2, the +2 speed, light, and then also my grasps can hit you for a billion. I can put you in the corner where you will cry. Notably, I don't think I've seen much in the way of sweeps and focuses, so that might be a dangerous proposition. It's actually kind of before pull 2 is actually kind of awkward here. Not unusable by any means, just kind of awkward. But Platinum has a way to make it work. Ryu, go ahead and just play your favorite slow. Play sweep. Just play sweep. This to me is a grasp. Might also be a cross, but probably a grasp. Oh, actually, it might be. Where is it? Might be Miami Circular. Miami Circular would be really spicy here. 6 damage, ignore armor, and then you also get to get rid of your before pull 2. That would be pretty spicy. Notably, it does not stun sweep still, so it's probably still not great. Let's see, what else could it be? Might be the other dramatic Sammy. That would be very funny. Might be Happy Magica, although, wow, that's a bet. Yeah, sweep is pretty safe here. Not against the... Well, no, it is against the other sweep. That is unfortunately game. Platinum is dead. Yeah, you needed that extra fierce into play. The run back was not real. Ryu proving again that he's the World Warrior. However, Ryu falling does unlock Happy Chaos from Reggie's roster. Well, sort of. Axel's still there. That said, pretty commanding presence by Dored there. Even when the tempo started to run low there, he was able to keep his cool and maintain the options available. And we're going to see a game 2 here. Reggie's picked the character selection. It's Happy Chaos versus Axel Low. I don't think this is the matchup Reggie wanted, but it might be the one he gets. Axel has a lot of ways to make Happy Chaos's guns less effective. Notably, with Happy Chaos initiating, this isn't quite as bad because most of Axel's responses, he can't cross out of fire, which... Oh, no, he can. Never mind. I thought fire was... Happy Chaos needs EX fire. Yeah, this might be an instance where Happy Chaos becomes the grappler. For instance, a Happy Chaos sweep, that is a 7-power sweep, does a fair amount to Axel, because he can't defend very easily. All right, we have the super focus, which is to say a key charge at the beginning of the game. No cancel. And a strike from Axel. His normal tap plus 0 to 2 range and -1 speed. There's a lot of options on the table. Yeah, if Happy Chaos hung on to EX Fire, that might be good, but still be stuff by cross, which is a lot of value to suddenly throw only to get eaten. We're gonna see just the focus into the focus. Happy Chaos will draw a card and then take 2. A little out of sequence there, but it doesn't actually matter. We're gonna see a badass. And it cancels? No cancel. That makes sense. Happy Chaos, I do feel, wants his gauged in order to keep things out there. Badass getting hit by the Let's Rock. That's pretty dangerous. We're going to see a strike here into a block. It is, of course, the fire. Spending 3 force. Drawing some cards. Maybe sealing an Ultra? Sealing an Ultra. That is going to go ahead and be a nice 7 power. Maxwell spending an Ultra to take a single damage. Happy Chaos's advantage. He's fired a bullet from his gun, and another badass coming down into play. Dream Sweep is now dead. Go ahead and get into range 1 against him. His most dangerous range 1 card, 7 power sweep, is dead. Axel instead deciding to prepare. Badass coming down. Badass. Axel spending some real time thinking about this one. British Time Lord Kurt Cobain doesn't want to necessarily. Oh, getting rid of the badass. Getting rid of the badass makes sense. Make fire less free. Now seeing a Just Defend. That's pretty reasonable. Axel striking. Striking was block, which is a interesting decision. Yeah, we're gonna. You do have to spend for that. You do have to spend a gauge for gun down. There we go. Opponent discarding a card, Happy Chaos Ceiling. Does still get the gauge at least from Let's Rock, but you're in gauge neutral is not ideal. You did get rid of the other block though, which means you can now shoot gun. This is kind of funny that both of these characters have just kind of thrown fireballs at each other, so they haven't moved. Right. Dive stuffing assault because of speed tie, thanks to Axel's ability. Now we're at range 1. Is it Happy Chaos's turn still? It is not. Axel throwing an attack here. It is the Axel Bomber. Into the assault. Assault dealing 4 damage. Axel advancing 2. Hitting for 6. And choosing to gain advantage. which makes sense. All right, you save your focus, Happy Chaos? Did you save a focus? Oh, EX seems like a bet. The other Axle Bomber does not matter. Get stuff by 4 power. No hit. That means no advance. Another gun. Crossing out of a fire. Missing. Range 8 gaming. Genuinely think that this is a pleasant decision for HC, since he has steady aim available, which does stuff Axel's. There we go. Sickle Flash. 4 damage. Not quite as good. That's 6. Happy Cast instead deciding to move in, as opposed to card changing. I guess one of the steady aims is down. While it's swinging the grasp into the Sickle Flash. Advancing 2 instead of just playing the gun down is kind of interesting. Is that a CC? Yeah, big CC from Axel. Prepping means you're going to get grasped here. That might be fine. Oh, we got hit by the whirl instead. Took 1 and drew. There's the grasp. Yeah, that's going to stuff the assault. Interesting decision to assault there instead of just dashing in. This to me feels like the classic range 5 sweep. Oh, Sickle Flash. That's like range 5 sweep if you think about it. All right. Advancing 3. Feels to me like you're about to get grassed out again here. Here's the other grass. No, it's the Sickle Storm. This is pretty good. Hit him with Tiger Uppercut, but it costs 2 gauge for some reason. I guess it hits for 2 more. It's the value proposition on it. It's theoretically an 8 delta attack. Oof, at the ready, into focus. Draw 2. Seal. Take your 4. You get into a pretty rough point as Happy Chaos here, because it's gonna be pretty hard for you to initiate. Strike here, because you obviously want to initiate with your reload, but a lot of your options that you want to do to stuff things are gone. I mean, you gotta do it. Spend 3. Did you save an ultra in there? Oh, didn't see that. There it is. There's the ultra. You then still take 6 in response. 1 life against Axel Low. And your only card in hand is Smike. Feels pretty rough. He must simply play on curve. Are we CCing? CC2? Keep that 1 gauge alive. Did you get your cross? I see something get slammed down here. Checking to see if the other grasp was alive. Which I honestly don't remember. I think so. Which means you would need EX cross to stuff it. Is the block, pays for it, takes no damage, keeps 1 gauge alive. And at range 3 grasp when you have 1 life is pretty devastating. We're seeing a dash. Cancel, presumably. No cancel. Don't love that, if I'm being honest with you. +1 speed, advancing 1, canceling. Retreating 3, canceling. Oh, boy. Wild Swing and Pray. Alas, the on-curve spike. Well, actually, 1 undercurve. Will win the game. I was pretty happy Chaos favored until Axel was able to maintain life in the corner. At which point, it became very difficult for Happy Chaos to get in. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this. Dored taking the game 2-0 over Reggie. Reggie is now freed from the tournaments, which means he will not live up the prophecy of killing Zane for me. Maybe some other time. All right. That said, have a good one.